that time it was really the end of the world at the time. And now when I look, I'm so grateful, I'm so happy, because it gave me so much joy. It gave me understanding who I am and all the things. Like, wow, it was really like big awakening for me.
Yeah.
So I had this kind of friend that I hugged, and I remember I could feel like I became one with him. Like it's like I
Mm.
entered his body, and for me it was like, what is that? It was really interesting feeling.
All right, my friends, I am here with Kristina, and she is from Lithuania, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story, her awakening, and some of the things that she's gone through to come to where she's at. She's a coach, and she's an NLP practitioner, but she's kind of doing her own thing. And so, welcome to the show, Christina.
Hello.
If you want to give us a little background on yourself and then just jump into your story wherever you would like to.
Oh, I don't know where to start because my story, I think, began a long time ago. If we're talking about awakening, it's been 3 years already. But if we talk about all the path that I did before until the awakening, it's a bit like long time ago it happened. And I think, I don't know if I could start from my childhood. Is it
Abs-
if it's okay with that? And
Absolutely.
yeah, I think all this awakening is also related to my childhood, because my childhood wasn't so amazing. um, I had father who was abusing my mom and me, and I had to grow up in my aunt's house, and I had to spend a lot of time with my cousins instead of being with my mom or with my father. And I saw a lot of fights between my parents, and there were situations that my father tried to kill me and my mom. And yeah,
Wow.
it was really like difficult time for me. And I understood that I grew up with a lot of wounds, emotional wounds, because I wasn't seen, I wasn't loved, and I didn't really know who I am. And when my father passed when I was 14 years old, then I took all the responsibility somehow on my shoulders, because my mom didn't do that, I guess, or maybe it was just me that somehow I felt that I'm responsible for also for my mom and for myself. So I kind of didn't have my mm, teenager years. I lost all my this age, and not age, sorry, it's like experience of this period. And then I was just living kind of normal life and working and studying. And yeah, it seemed that nothing special happened. But at the same time, I know that if I look back, I know that I wasn't feeling okay, and I was trying to find people from who I could get some love or acceptance. And I would say this kind of relationships, they didn't bring me any joy, because when the people were going away, then I was just completely devastated. Let's say I was down again, and nothing changed. Yeah, years passed, and then I I was around 28 years old, and I met an amazing man, which I manifested. Even I didn't think what was the manifestation before. And I can tell you a very short story about my husband, now ex-husband. And the story was that I remember it was Christmas, and have this kind of games that we put under the pillow, the names written on the paper. And we had to, yeah, I had to write 6 names of men that I know. And then in the morning, you just take one paper, one note, and then you read the name, and they say that this will be the name of your husband. So I wrote, yeah, I wrote some like six notes with the names. No, I wrote five, and the sixth, I didn't find any other name that I would like to write. And then I remember there was my mom's friend who was just like coming to us, sometimes helping and everything. And I thought, okay, I will write his name because I mean, I do not really like this person. I mean, but still, I will write his name. So I wrote his name on that paper, and the next morning I took those notes from under the pillow, and it was written Alexandras because Lithuanian name is Alexandras is like Alessandro or Alexander. It's like that. And then I remember also there were something I always believed in this kind of things, magical things.
Right.
And I remember that I wrote once a also on a paper. I wrote that what kind of man I would like to have, and I wrote everything what I wanted in a man, and and then somehow I forgot about it. I left it somewhere at home in the village, and then I started to live in another city. So then after I think years, I came back to the village, and I was setting up the house and everything, and then I found this note, and I thought, okay, I have this note I don't need anymore. And that time I think I didn't have a partner. And then I just, okay, I mean, why do I need this note? I don't need this note. So I just threw it away. And actually it was when you write something and you let it go,
Yeah.
the wish just comes through all the time. So yeah, and then after I think half year, I met my husband, which whose name was Alessandro.
Ah,
Yes,
yeah.
and also interesting story that how we met. We met on the airplane. I was flying from UK and he was working as a steward, and we met. Like I saw this amazing man looking at me. I was okay, and then I thought, okay, I have a newspaper from UK airport, from Stansted Airport, and maybe if I have a pen, I can write my number. I can leave to him because he was working. He couldn't talk to me a lot. So and then I thought, okay, if this lady next to me, who is sitting next to me, she has a pen, then I will write my phone number because I also had my pen. I don't know how it's called. This place where in up in the airplane there's storage, I think,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
backpacks. Yeah, so I had my pen in my backpack, but I didn't use that. When I asked this lady that if she has a pen, she said, "Yes, I have." I'm like, "Okay, so she has a pen. Now I have to write my number, my phone number." And then I wrote my phone number. I waited until all the people will go away, and then I just gave him the paper and that's it. And I didn't expect anything. I just went away and that's it. So we started to talk, to communicate more and more and more. And then I noticed that all the things that I wrote on that paper that day and I threw it away, everything was that what I wanted. Like he was completely this person that I described on that paper. It
Wow.
was just, yeah, it was incredible. And I thought like, okay, well, what?
That's
So it means yeah.
that's Neville Goddard 101 right there. Are you familiar
Yeah,
with
it's
Nell?
like
Are you
everything was set up.
yeah. Are you familiar with Neville Goddard at all?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that's what he calls the wish fulfilled.
Okay. Yeah, so and then after being together for few years. Yeah, 2 years. We were together 2 years, and he lived in Lithuania. He was from Italy. Yeah, we lived in Lithuania, and after 2 years, he got an offer for a job in Italy, for which he was studying. and he just took this opportunity to work there in Italy and to be in that company. And at the same time, I was working also. I don't know if I can mention companies because,
Sure.
I
Go right
mean
ahead.
brands. Yeah, I was working also in international company, but my office was in Vilnius in Lithuania. So I had to leave my job and I had to leave everything actually. I left also my house, I sold my car, and I left my job and everything, and I left my friends, and I went to live to Italy. And for a few years, we lived there for 3 years. And I think, yeah, if I look back now, everything, all this kind of nice things happened because, yeah, everything was set up. It was the purpose to now for me to be in this place where I am now. After some time, I understood that I also wrote on the note that I want a man who cares a lot about his family. And as you know, I don't know if you know, but Italians, they're really like into their family.
Yeah.
So yeah, and after some time, I noticed that there is always his family first, and then and then us. And for me, was really really big issue. And
Mm.
not only that, we had a lot of fights and everything. So this is just, yeah, normal relationship, I guess. And we never managed to talk in a nice way after building a wall between
Mm.
each other. So yeah, and I remember one day when I had problems with my back, and I had to, because I have hernia in my back, in the spine. I got stuck one day. I couldn't walk anymore. And then I went to a hospital, and after going back from hospital, I had to drink so many different pills, and also use the medicine. I don't know how it's called, like painkillers.
Uh-huh.
And then after a few days, I thought I don't want to poison myself, and somehow I found on YouTube I found this meditation, I would say, or healing, something like that. I don't remember what was that, but something like music for healing. And
Okay.
I started to listen it, and it was really nice. It was surprising that I I started to feel better. And I said to my husband, like, I'm not going to take this medicine anymore because I don't need it. I feel better. So, and this kind of, it was the beginning of my kind of connection with my body.
Right.
And at the same time, after I think few months, we were fighting again, and all this kind of things, unsaid things, they were like, we were feeling tension all the time. We tried to make it up, but we never managed to do that. And after some time, I started to feel kind of bad again, and not only with my back, but I think emotionally, I didn't have support there. I couldn't find a job, and it was really difficult time.
I
And
bet.
also
Yeah.
he was like caring more about his family, his mom, his brother and father and everyone else than instead of me. I saw this way that time, and for me it was really painful. And I know that our communication wasn't good. That's why maybe the things could change and everything, because yeah, when we talk with the people, we managed to solve things, but we weren't talking anymore. And I had panic attacks. I started to have panic attacks with the time, and I remember that I couldn't sleep anymore at night. I was kind of sleeping, but waking up every 2, 3 hours, and I was sleeping 15 hours per day, and I was
Oh,
all
wow.
the time tired. Yeah, it was. And after some time, I think this was just the chronic stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that time I didn't understand. Only now when I look back, I can recognize what was there. And maybe I also had depression or something. I'm not sure, depression. I have no
Yeah.
idea. And yeah, and then one day I just woke up and I said, okay, I cannot, I cannot do this. I cannot do this anymore. And it's just, I'm killing myself. And actually, I fell down and I felt that I lost myself completely. I didn't know who I am anymore. I didn't feel good. Everything what I was doing, it was just for 5 seconds is okay, and then everything was falling down, and I was like, yeah, this panic attacks and all the other things that I was feeling alone and happy and all these things that I don't know who I am. Like I got lost actually, and and yeah, one day I said, okay, I cannot to do this to myself anymore, and I have to choose, or I live with him and because I love him, and to lose myself completely,
Yeah.
where even I had kind of suicidal thoughts,
Um,
or I have to just leave and go away from him and start to build myself up again. So this was the, I think, the hardest thing in my life that I had to choose, because when you love someone and you want to be with someone, and then at the same time you just, yeah, you just have to kind of choose yourself and go away from that person.
it's what I call the higher self was trying to push you on onto your path.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, and it was really strong pushing.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's painful. Do you look
yeah,
back on that as a good thing now, whereas at the time it
yeah,
probably felt like it was
yeah,
the
yeah.
end of the world at the time. So
Yeah, yeah. That time it was really the end of the world at the time. And now when I look, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy because it gave me so much joy. It gave me understanding who I am and all the things. Like, wow, it was really like big awakening for me.
yeah,
So
that was a turning
yeah,
point
it
for you.
yeah, yeah. So I just one day woke up and I said to him, listen, I invented, not invented, I mean, as I didn't have my family doctor in Italy, I had to come back to Lithuania every time for my back and to do some therapy. So I said to him, you know, I have to go back to Lithuania and to do the therapy for 2 months at least. And it wasn't a lie. I came back, but I think I already had this kind of thought in my head that I won't be back in Italy anymore because it was kind of escape from me. And
Right.
when I yeah, when I came back to do the therapy, I started to do the therapy. I didn't have job, I didn't have a car. I bought an old car for a few months. Then I searched a job and I found the job very, very fast, very quick. And then after doing the therapy, all when I think now that all the things were so related, and I just had to kind of decide to do the decision, and all the path was just prepared for me. Because when I finished to do the therapy, I I don't know why I was like this. I had this idea also. I was going from Vilnius, where I was doing the therapy, to my mom in the village, and I checked my phone, and I thought, okay, maybe I will check. Maybe the my old company, they're searching administrator, because I was working as administrator before in that company, and I thought maybe they're searching again. And yes, they were searching an administrator again.
Nice.
And I just called HR that I already knew, and we set an online meeting. And but yeah, and that time I just had to go back to Italy. Yeah, for what reason I don't remember. Yeah, it was something that I had to do there. And then I had this interview again with my ex-boss and HR, and they said, yeah, we're waiting for you. And I said, can you wait for me for 1 month? Because, you know, I still have to take all my stuff from Italy and bring to Lithuania and all the things. Even though that time my husband didn't know anything. Oh my God,
Mm.
I'm so sorry that I didn't tell him. But yeah, I think my idea was that. So yeah, and they said, yeah, we are waiting for you. I mean, we can wait for 1 month for you, and we will keep this place for you. So you just come back. You're always welcome. And so yeah, I signed the contract again. I had to, I mean, my husband didn't know that, and this my plan, he didn't know, and he was expecting me to come back to Italy after a few months. The thing happened that my mom got sick, and she got to know that she has breast cancer, and was like kind of another excuse to stay for a longer time in Lithuania. So I said to him, listen, I mean, I cannot leave my mom alone because she was actually alone. And I have to help her to deal with the doctors, to bring to the doctors and the hospital, and to do all the things, and to get operated, and to do everything. And then he said, okay, okay, you can stay in Lithuania for a bit. And yeah, and all this thing like happened for, I don't know, a few months, and it started to be like almost 2 years that I was already in Lithuania. And yes,
I
I
think
helped my mom in, sorry?
I was going to say, I think that that's a really important point for people to understand. Once you make a decision, I learned that many years ago. When you make the decision to do what it is you're going to do, then all the doors open. Until when you're wishy-washy about it, well, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, nothing happens. And then when you go, okay, I have to do this, and you make that decision, then all the doors and opportunities open. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're telling your story is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, it's the decision. When you make the decision, everything is open. You just go. You just go, and that's it. And yeah, I think, as I said before, everything was set up for this.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I was helping my mom, and after it passed few months already, and then I started. My mom, she was feeling okay after operation, after everything, and okay, I thought I can leave my mom now like this, and if she needs me, I'm still like in Lithuania. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not traveling to Italy because it's kind of difficult to fly from Italy. It's better if I'm somewhere close. And then I kept working, and I started to travel. And all these kind of things, also um, making your plan and wanting what you want, what knowing what you want,
yeah,
it just opens everything. I remember my first trip was to Madeira, and I bought tickets so cheap, and all the money I spent on that trip, which I don't know, I found it like a heaven, and all the money that I spent on this trip, it came back to me, those money
yeah,
from another place. So it was like, wow, this is time for me. It's time to understand who I am. It's time to be where I want, and just, yeah, just to be, to take time for myself from all this kind of negative thoughts, from all the things, and just enjoy the time. And it was surprising because I did everything alone. It was the first time, it was the first trip in my life that I did alone, and I had two flights, total. I had four flights. So it
wow,
was it was something big. It wasn't just like, you fly and that's it, you're in the hotel or something. No, I I made some reservations with in three places. Then I rented a car, and I was going around everywhere and waking up when I want, eating food what kind of I want,
yeah,
meeting amazing people there. And this was just the time for myself. After that, I understood, like, I started to get to know myself a bit better, because when you relax, you're just like more aware of the things around you instead of being in a stress all the time.
yeah. A lot of us
Yeah,
have given ourselves away. Most of my life, given ourselves away to others and putting others before ourselves, which is not always a bad thing, but when you do it to the point where you lose yourself, then it's not a
yeah,
good thing.
yeah. I think it's very important to set the healthy boundaries.
Yeah,
This is,
absolutely.
yeah, and this kind of trips and meeting people, and I was traveling all the year. I was working at the same time, and I was traveling all the year. I don't know how many trips I had in that year, and it was really nice. Also meeting people and the same time learning how to set the boundaries, the healthy ones that I don't give myself to everyone, and I kind of still keep the energy for myself. And yeah, this also helped me a lot. And then I started, I don't know how it happened, but I mean, I don't have to know how it happened. The universe does everything
Yeah.
after we make the decision. And I remember one day I was listening something, I think, no, I wasn't listening. I was on Facebook and I found this post that something related with spirituality or meditation or something like that. And then I registered and I started to do meditation. And this kind of meditation was really painful because you kind of have to put your body in a firm place. You don't move, you don't do anything, you can just talk. I think we were like 20 people, but we were doing online. And we were 20 people and we could talk, nothing else. We couldn't move. Like if it's itchy or you have pain, you cannot move the body. And in this way, you are kind of aware and you can see the pain, and you can feel your body better, because I believe that all the traumas, all the emotions that we didn't manage to express, they are in the body. They're still like with us.
Yeah.
And I had half year of this kind of meditations that I healed a lot. I was crying almost every day. I was feeling pain. I was like, what I didn't have. I mean, I saw also some interesting things, and I don't know if I even can describe the things because they were so real and like hallucinations or something like that. I don't know how it's called, but it was really, really powerful. When you
So tell
leave the, sorry?
I was gonna say, tell us about one, at least one of those experiences. We want to hear.
Okay, I think the one that I remember the best was I was laying down, and I mean, imagine you're 3 hours and you don't move. You're just staying like still with your body and you don't move. And I had very big pain in my leg, and it was so painful. I was like, no, but the thing is that you have to accept this pain. If you don't accept, you just try to resist, and then it make it worse. It's not so good. And then somehow I was like resisting, and then I gave up. Okay, like okay, and I was with my closed eyes, and this pain started to go like I don't know what kind of level. It was very very high pain. I felt really like bad, and then at some point I started to see like big like this big worm like this fat and long. It started to come out of my leg. It was
Wow.
really something like incredible. And then I was just looking at it. Okay, I don't do anything because I'm not moving. I just looking at it, and it was so real. It was so big and full, and it was really gross to look at. And after looking at it, after some time, it just disappeared. It was really, really, really bad feeling, like, oh, but then it disappeared. I got this kind of feeling that I was full of joy and
Mm.
peace, and I don't know how to explain. It was really like this moment. It was so nice, so precious, like joyful and also crying, because I think, yeah, it's like, it's really difficult to describe when you feel this kind of emotion. And I understood at that time I released a lot of trauma, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then I had a lot of energy. I started to feel a lot of energy, because to keep the trauma inside the body or locked emotions, it takes a lot of energy to resist. Is like, wow, we have to use a lot of energy to resist it. And
Yeah.
when it's released, I had so much energy. And as
That's
I like to dance, I went to dance and I danced until 6 in the morning.
wow. That's
So imagine, yeah, yeah.
that's a really cool story. I like that.
Well, it's like, oh, I have more stories about that.
Oh, please tell us more. Tell us more.
This is just the one. Sometimes I can, I'm still afraid with some people to talk about this because, I can scare them because if they're not familiar with such things, they're a bit, afraid. So, yeah.
Well, with our audience, you shouldn't have to worry about that. So, this is a new era. That's all this information needs to come out, and people need to understand there's
Yeah,
way
yeah.
way more to us than we all thought. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to hear something, it won't be something bad. It's actually it's very beautiful thing. Um, Also, when I had different kind of meditation, I I managed to kind of connect to my ex-husband. I could see him. I remember I was doing this meditation and I was almost about to wake up. I wasn't sleeping, but at the same time, I wasn't fully awake. I had this kind of because usually what when I see pictures and I thought about my ex-husband and then I start to have like picture of him walking in the kitchen and he was dressed with I don't know how it's called, when you go to gym, this kind of clothes.
yeah, gym clothes or sweatpants or
Yeah, sweatpants, yeah, something like that. It's like costume, all the costume.
right.
And then I sent him a message and no, I think I called him and I asked him, what are you doing? And he said, I'm at work. Okay, so no, this picture is not that. And then I said, are you wearing this and this clothes? He said, what? And he went as he was working in a tower. He went downstairs to see if I'm not there. And at that time I was in Lithuania. I wasn't in Italy. And he got like, what? And I remember I asked him if he can sit down and close his eyes, and I asked him to feel the body and explain what is he feeling in the body. And he said, "Oh, I feel something warm, and I can see the picture of you that you are in a bed, and I see something like red things around you." And then I said, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm in the bed and I have the bed sheet is with red flowers. And
Ah,
then was something, wow. I don't know how did they do that and how it happened, but this kind of like seeing each other from like 2000 kilometers away and you manage to see to feel the other person. For me this was like, oh, wow, wow.
yeah, that's called remote viewing. Have you heard of
Yeah,
remote?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
I don't know how to go back to the same state anymore. But I experienced many things like that. Yeah, it's really interesting and fascinating to think about it, how powerful we are and that everything is energy. And we
right.
can we can manage, we can communicate, yeah, with other people this way.
Yeah, and we're all energetically connected, more so
Yeah,
than most people realize, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I've had some experiences that where I've experienced oneness with all things, and it's indescribable. So,
Yeah, yeah, that is like something new and so nice. I had so many things that I don't even I don't even remember. Yeah, I also now if I think now I kind of have also I think it's lucid dreams it's called.
right?
Also had this kind of experience. I don't know if it's when you are kind of sleeping and you're walking, but you're walking only in your dreams. Is it the same like lucid dreams or is different?
Yeah, if generally a lucid dream is considered lucid dreaming if you know you're dreaming, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we have dreams and then you wake up and you might remember bits and pieces of them, and then you have dreams that seem almost real and you know
Yeah.
I'm in, and you kind of wake up in the dream and go, "Oh, I'm dreaming." That's what's
Yeah, for
considered.
me it's
And that can happen
yeah, I think
partially. I've had some pretty intense lucid dreams myself, yeah. And so I was gonna backing up just a minute, that
oh
meditation you
yeah.
described where you don't move, and that's the first thing people discover when they first started meditating is everything in your every little thing in your body, you know, like itching, pain, whatever, you can feel
Yeah.
it. But you what you were talking about, but you can't move, that's what I would call and this is from the out of body travelers. They call it mind awake, body asleep. And so, because usually when we go to sleep, the mind goes to
Yeah.
sleep too. But if you can learn to keep your mind awake, then you can lucid dream and you can even travel out of body and so forth. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and the same time I was experiencing these travels out of body, and I could fly and I
yeah,
could decide where to fly, and I was understanding that okay, and this is this, so what should I do? Or where should I go? It was really like interesting because at the same time you understand that you're kind of dreaming, and you kind of can control yourself even in that dream. So this was really really nice, and I
yeah.
also experienced this kind of, yeah, I had so many different experiences.
I said that's awesome. I was gonna say
Yeah, yeah.
the first time I had an out of body experience, I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then I woke up and my analytical mind says, no, that was just a dream, you know. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. That was too real. So
Sometimes we have to fight with the mind.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us
Like,
about one of your out of body experiences if you want to.
okay, yeah, this I can tell you about two of them. One, yeah, short ones. One was that I flew away from flew out of my apartment through the window, and then I got a bit scared. I was like walking in the park around, and then somehow I think maybe I was about to waking up or something like that, and I started to feel this kind of fear that I won't find my home anymore, and I started to look around and I couldn't find the window that where I came from, and then yeah, within few seconds I found the window and I flew back and I woke up like that. So it was really like, oh, I was very close to be left somewhere outside, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and another thing I remember that as I live with my flatmate, she's my best friend, and now she's away, but yeah, and yeah, that time we were living together, and I had this dream like I woke up and I wanted to make a prank to her, to go to her room and to scare her. So I did it, but I don't remember then what how it happened. You mean, I think I just woke up. So yeah, it was it's really interesting. And talking about also dreams, I always had this kind of really clear dreams. I never had dreams that I don't remember. Most of the times I remember all the dreams. And if I
Okay.
don't remember immediately after I wake up, there is something in the day that reminds me of the dream. Like there happens something that it reminds me of the dream, and then I just remember the dream. And I talked today with my friend about the dreams, even how they change the dreams for me. And now, before, for example, in the dreams, I was like, I had a lot of fear, or I was running from my father and everything. And now the dreams changed. The dreams became that I talk to people and I set the boundaries, and I'm saying, no, this is not okay for me, and or something like that. And then, yeah, I will tell you another short story about the dreams.
Okay.
And this really nice because it means that my subconscious is just like it's different. It's yeah, it's not. It's my body also released a lot of pain and trauma, and I don't really dream this kind of dreams anymore. The with the fear and all the like bad things.
Right.
And yeah, I have so many things going on in my head now that I wanted to share.
Oh,
all
please
of,
do.
all of them, they're really interesting. Okay, yeah.
That
Talking about dreams. No. I will start maybe not with the dreams and about the feeling, how sometimes I can feel when, yeah, it started with my animals, with the pets I used to have. I didn't know that before, and when I look back, I just now remember understand that how it happened, and what's happened and everything. So I always had this kind of really nice connection with animals since I was little. Animals for me, they're like human beings. It's for me, they're the same, they're equal to me, and I always had this kind of respect to them. And I was even when I was little, I never hurt anyone. And I asked my mom, she said, yeah, when you were little, you were caressing them, you were like, okay, you can sleep, little cat, and like that's it. And I thought maybe I was the bad kid who was like, because the kids are just, yeah, they're everywhere, and they're just sometimes they hurt animals, even they don't know that they do that. And
Yeah.
I wasn't that kind of person. I remember that I had this kind of feeling before. I don't know even how to describe the feeling, because it's like you meet, or yeah, you see an animal, and it seems like you want to be with this animal just a bit more time, like 1 2 minutes longer. You just, like, you have this feeling that you want to hug, and you want to be with this animal a bit more. And then I was like making picture, and I was going away, because all my animals, they're in the village with my mom. And when I was teenager, I was growing up with them. But then after, when I started to study and to live in another city, so I was just visiting them. And yeah, I was visiting them often, but still, the connection, yeah, the connection, it was always there.
Right.
And it's interesting because every time when I was like, they were usually they were feeling bad, because some of them, they were like old, and they were feeling bad a bit or something. And it was interesting that every time when I was coming back to them, and I was staying with them, and spending time, and it was like, yeah, wanting to be more with them. And then I was making picture, and I was going away. And then usually I was getting my mom's call, that she was saying that, they're passed away, they're not, that's it, like they're gone. And it's been with I think 5 or 6 animals that I had, with dogs and cats. And the last time it happened with my cousin. And I remember I saw him, and then after a few days, I had to fly to my friend to Norway. So I saw him, and I remember this feeling that I wanted to say something, but the mind's like, what do you want to say? I was like, this, like, it's always something like going on in the mind that we don't listen. And then I just went close to him, but then I just didn't say anything. And actually, it was the last time that I saw him. And after, when I was in Oslo, my mom called, and my mom said that he passed away, and he was young. He was 42 years old.
Mm.
And yeah, I remember this kind of feeling. So I started to notice this this feeling. And now I'm kind of afraid to feel the same feeling again, because then I know that the, like, animals went away, and then the people will go away. So yeah, it's also, I think, is one of the kind of powers, feeling that I'm able to detect in my body when I meet some people. Talking about the dreams, coming back to the dreams, I remember after his death, he I dreamt, I had a dream, and it was, I understood that I'm dreaming. In the dream, I was aware that I'm dreaming. And I dreamed him, and I thought, okay, I have to run. I have to run, because he's dead. I have to run. This the mind was saying to me. But I said, okay, no, no, I'm not running anywhere. And I said, how can I help you? Like, what can I do for you? Maybe you need something, or And he asked me a question like, what should I do? And I remember that I gave him some. some advice to do something, but I don't remember what was that. But I gave him some advice to do something, and he just went away, and that's it. And since then, I didn't dream him anymore. And interesting because last night I had a dream that I was in his room where I used to sleep sometimes because yeah, because of my mom and my father were fighting, so I had to stay in my aunt's house and sometimes to sleep with my cousins. And I was yeah, that room was completely different. Before I was dreaming a room where I could feel different energy, and this time the room was so bright, so nice, and I could still see his like stuff around. And then, but inside I could feel that I'm calm and like everything is okay. Then I understand that I think the parents are still keeping him in a way. Maybe they still have this kind of pain that he passed away and they didn't have the chance to talk to him. And maybe yeah, that's why the things in the room are in this way left as they were before, because it was really like clear sign that the things that they're left without touching them. This is just the thought, but yeah, but the things
Right.
that I felt the energy that was really nice. This is about the dreams and about feeling this kind of interesting
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, just because
and
they
the,
passed doesn't mean we lose the connection with them. We're
no, we
all
don't. We
connected
never.
still. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
We're all connected, and it was in the beginning. It was a bit of painful to understand that I won't be able to talk to him anymore. But then I said, okay. I mean, he's not dead because he just left the body and that's it. But he's still like with us, and that's fine. That's okay. Since then I was like, I'm okay. I know that he's somewhere close and everything is fine with him, and maybe he's born somewhere else, you know.
yeah,
Who knows? Who
could
knows?
be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about other interesting feelings. I had a friend that I think it was the first time that I felt, or maybe, yeah, I think that the first time was I felt with the person that I hugged. I had this hug, not, I don't hug for 1 second and run away. I hug for a few like seconds, like for 30 seconds or something like that. And I like to feel like the body, how the body feels. I had this kind of friend that I hugged, and I remember I could feel like I became one with him. Like it's like I
Mm,
entered his body, and for me it was like, what is that? It was really interesting feeling. And then I started to pay more attention to my body, to my feelings, and I noticed that now every time when I hug someone, I try to focus on my body and to check you how is it going, how is it feeling, and everything. I have very close friends that I have this kind of connection, and usually I have this kind of feeling with the people that they're really open, and they're like kind of, I don't know, these amazing beautiful souls, and
mm.
that I connect. And I don't have many people in this way that I feel this kind of, when you enter someone else's body and you become one. But I still, like, I can feel with, I think I have maybe four people that when I hug them, as always, like there is this feeling, and it's so nice, it's so amazing, like you feel like at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Did
yeah.
they ever, did any of them ever say that they felt something uh, different at all when you did that?
Um, no, they many people, they tell me when I hug them, they feel very safe.
Oh,
They
okay.
feel very very safe, and I don't know. They describe me in this way that when I hug you, I feel like so safe, and then I can express myself and all this kind of things. So maybe this is my energy, and
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
just
all.
remind me. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's awesome. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. And not long time ago, I had this gong night session. that all the night my friend and other people they were playing with the gongs, and it was all night. And I remember in the morning we had to do some exercises, stretching, and then they said hug five or four people around you. And I was hugging people, and then I was like, okay, that's it. I don't want to hug anyone anymore. And then the woman was running to me, and she just hugged me, and she started to cry. I said, What's going on? I mean, it's okay to cry. Is everything's okay? And what's going on?" And she said, I just saw you, and I just want to cry. I don't know why." And I said, "Okay. I mean, that's good. I mean, you're releasing something. This is amazing." And then we talked with her, and like, yeah, we shared stories. It was so nice. And we're still like connected. We keep in touch. So it's
Well,
also this kind of things happen to me.
yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool. Was that at like one of your retreats or something, or?
No, this is just it was just one event that we did, and that's it. Yeah. And talking about retreats, I'm actually doing it in Portugal, 21st and 28th of March. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I,
this
I
is
will
yeah.
I will link that in the description of the video when the video comes out. I'll put a
Okay.
link to
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
for you.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your coaching or some of your events that you hold.
Yeah. The events I did not long time ago. It was 1 week ago that I did workshop talking about the stress and how we can deal with the stress, and showing some practices that the people could use it when they're working and when they're having stress. It's sometimes it's enough, 10 minutes in one day, or maybe in few hours. I was doing also the same thing when I was working. I had a lot of stress, and I passed all this kind of exercises, and I know how it works. So I just gave them like to try this kind of exercise, and then they can do at home or at work or something. So it's really, really important for people to not stress too much, and to start to feel their body, and yeah, to get out of this kind of stress, non-stop stress, let's
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah. In our society today, especially,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's really we're kind of mice that were trapped in a circle, and all the time running, 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 running. And in the end, we understand that we will die. And is it worth, to do this kind of things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah,
So
um,
do you teach any kind of meditation or?
yeah, I combine everything actually. I usually use also coaching techniques and NLP, and just my kind of knowing. I don't know. I connect to let's say to the universe, and then I just kind of ask the person the questions that sometimes my mind doesn't even understand, but that question leads the person to open and to tell all the life story, even if they're painful and really like painful and humiliating maybe, and they're able to open up. And when they open up, I can really like talking to them. They can feel good, they can feel understood. And I think this is what we need in our society now. So I'm
Absolutely.
doing like I combine everything, and I do this kind of coaching. Let's say it's coaching, yeah. And also meditation. I do everything. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. So you've kind of come up with your own system, so to speak,
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
help
yeah,
people release traumas and
yeah,
negative emotions and take back their power, so to speak.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's all about that. Yeah.
Stop giving yourself away.
Oh, yes, setting boundaries and all that. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. All the things like that.
I was going to say, have you had any particular person that you remember in any of your events or that you've coached that had a profound experience or release that you'd want to share?
I could tell just very like short story with my friend what happened,
Sure.
how one question changed a bit, I would say a bit his life. He was going to gym, and he looked like he looks like nice man, and he's training a lot and everything, but he was eating food like, not really good quality food, like
Right.
sweets or kind of things like that. And I think it was one of the days that we were talking about something, and I asked him, you're like, you take care of your body so much, like from outside, and you're going to gym and everything. But have you ever thought to think to take care of your body from inside? And like he's like, oh, okay, and nothing. And then after 3 months, I think we met again, and then he was saying, you know what? Now I eat healthy food. I'm not eating junk food anymore. I'm like, okay. So this was like, yeah, yeah, it was really nice. Nice thing to see that the person was saying, and he changed his kind of habits because of one question I asked. So yeah, this is this kind of stories. And I think being myself, being open, and loving myself, and allowing myself to be who I am, I kind of give a space for other people to behave in this way, and to accept themselves who they are, and just, yeah, to feel free.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
also, yeah, it helps. I mean, even without doing anything, being myself, I help in a way. Let's say,
Yeah.
yeah,
Being your authentic self. So the
yeah.
next time you see him, you have to ask him, okay, now you've done your outside physical body, you're eating better. How about your spiritual self? And you can start
Yeah,
making.
this, yeah, I should do that, because when you pass through some things in life, and then you kind of aware of those things, but if the other person is doing, because he was all the time on the phone, at the same time on the phone talking with me and watching TV. So it means that he needs so much distraction that
Yeah.
he cannot, yeah, he cannot cope inside, and he cannot be in a still place, and he's using all this distraction for some like big reason. I don't know what kind of things he has in life, but yeah, I think he was going through something. And I understand this thing, and I wanted to say, but I think it's not, I can give advice or something, but if the person is not ready, you cannot do anything. So what's the point to bother myself and to make him, unhappy or something like that, if
Right.
he's not ready? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. You can't change anybody else. It's taken me a long time to learn that too, because you want
yeah,
to help. You're doing it because you want
yeah,
to help, but if they're not ready for it, you're just wasting your time. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And even you can lose the relationship with them, because
yeah,
you're putting your fingers where you shouldn't.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To them, they feel like you're pushing them, and even
Oh
though you're not,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're not trying to.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
And
just want to reject you. Yeah.
yeah, and we do the same thing when somebody does that to us if we're not ready to hear it or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
like leave
It's
me alone, you know.
normal. Yeah, yeah. Don't touch me. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
I'm up for some more stories. I'm loving your stories.
Okay,
It's
I'll tell you one short story.
okay.
It's not, it's also about feeling the body, and listening to my gut, let's say. um I can feel when the people think about me, or maybe I dream them, or yeah, sometimes, I had this. Okay, this is story. It's becoming a story, so I will tell you a story. I had healing festival in Czech Republic in August last year, and I met this amazing girl there, and we connected and we hugged each other, and I had this kind of feeling, as I mentioned you before, that you become one.
Yeah.
And then she said, I'm not using social media, I'm not using my phone right now, because she just didn't want at that time to do this kind of stuff. And she said, okay, if you could write me your phone number, I can reach you when I will be back after festival. And everything finished like that. And then I had some like moments where I was thinking about her, not thinking like, sometimes you're doing something and the thought comes to your head, and you remember someone like, okay, well, because like, when you think it's different, but when the thought comes to your head and like you have this kind of view of the person that it's been a long time that you didn't even think that he will reach you out anymore. So and 2 weeks ago, this girl didn't reach me out anymore. She just disappeared, and I was like, yeah, I had some kind of thoughts, few days, and then I left it like that. I mean, what can I do? I don't know her contacts, so and nothing. And then 2 weeks ago, I started to think about her like more often, like 2 days in a row. I was thinking about her, like, and I couldn't understand what is that. And then 2 days ago, she sent me a message on WhatsApp, and she said sorry that she didn't reach me out. It's past like almost half a year. And I said, you know what? I was thinking about you 2 weeks ago. And she said, you know what? I wanted to write. I found your number 2 weeks ago because she was traveling. She wasn't maybe feeling good. And then at the end, she lost my number somewhere in
Mm.
her notes and everything. So and then she said, I found your number 2 weeks ago, but I wasn't feeling good. So I decided to not text you. And then she said, okay, after 2 weeks, I decided to text you because I mean, nothing is changing. So it's better to text and then to see how is everything will go. And then, yeah, and then she just sent me a message and we reconnected again. And the thing that she was thinking about me at that time when I was thinking, when I had this kind of thoughts about her, it was like that. And many times happen that I get this kind of thoughts about the people, and then they reach me out like after 1 or 2 days. With many people happen like that, with many, and it's really amazing when you can feel someone that he thinks about you or she thinks about you. It's like wow. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I remember reading or listening to a near-death experiencer story one time, and
Hmm.
she said she got to see how her thoughts attach to other people,
Oh,
and whether they were negative or positive, and that would influence them, especially the negative ones. She noticed, and that would have a ripple effect because they would pass those negative energies on to the people that and so on. And she said, your thoughts are really important about how you think about people, especially somebody you might have had a rift with and you have some negative thoughts about them. And I've had an experience in my family where I had a rift with one of my family members and I decided to just think positive thoughts about him instead of the negative
yeah.
stuff about what happened between us. And that changed the relationship completely. And I never even had to talk to him about it.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, so your thoughts are things. The ancient wisdom teaches that too. Thoughts are things. So,
Yeah, yeah. Thoughts are
but
very powerful. Yeah,
I think most people have could probably recall some experiences like that where they've thought about somebody and all of a sudden they call out of the blue or show
yeah,
up, at the door and that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah,
But they don't put two and two together like we're talking about right now.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
which is
They're
why
not
this
aware about that.
yeah, which is why this information needs to come out more
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
mainstream consciousness.
Yeah, because when we're so busy, we do not really feel our body. We do not have time to think about such things.
Yeah.
Because I think in life, I mean, I think I know that coincidences, no, yeah, coincidences, not coincidence.
Synchronicities or
Yeah, yeah, no, not the synchronicities. It's like coincidence that it doesn't happen. We meet the right people at the right time. All the
all the
like everything's yeah, it's everything. Is it again? It's everything is set up by the universe.
yeah, we call it coincidences, but it's really not a coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's just the name. And people, they're really, yeah, when they're busy, they're not aware about that. But actually, if we think better and we go deeper, we understand that wow, like everything is so related. We
Yeah.
just don't pay attention to it. Yeah, it's
So do you see a shift in consciousness in the world going on right now or an awakening, if you will?
yeah, I think I would say yes. because
Hmm.
people started to ask themselves more. Maybe it's also the COVID, helped a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people got out of this kind of environment that they are working, working, working,
Hmm.
and they had more time for themselves. And now I notice that people, they're like more aware of their health, of what they're doing. They start to question more. Like, it happened also to me when I was working in the office,
Yeah.
Monday, Friday, 8 to 5, and I was like, why should I do that? The life is not only 2 days in a week, and okay, I have money, but I'm not happy. Is it that what I need? Do I need all this kind of stuff around me? That's, new phone, new car or something I do not really need. And this kind of things I won't bring to my coffin, or I don't know where. What I
Yeah.
mean, these are not like things that they mean anything in life. And
Yeah.
then yeah, then I left my job, and and all the things happened also, like everything opened again. All the doors are open, and yeah, I'm stepping into a really different kind of life. If you met me before, I mean, I was completely different person. I was completely different person, and now, yeah, after questioning all these kind of things, it's, this also this thing that I do the steps, I take the action, but at the same time, I trust so much the universe that I know that it will take care of me. And it did so many times that I just had to wait. Like, I had to be a bit patient,
Yeah.
and I got everything. I also manifested my car, my bigger salary in last job. I did everything, just wanting and being consistent in what I want, but at the same time not closing the door, like, not seeing only the one road.
Right.
I was like open for all the other possibilities, and then like the universe gives us everything in really mysterious ways, let's say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I experienced it a lot, a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
important for people to understand. If you have try to expect a specific outcome, then usually you're shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak.
yeah,
Whereas if you're open to however the universe will present it to you, you know, and then also when you take action, if instead of going, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, and this to make that happen, instead of just waiting, I guess, if you would, for the opportunities to present themselves and acting on those opportunities. That I call that inspired action, and
yeah,
that's what Neville Goddard calls it. He says, "Yeah, you got to take action." He says, "But it's inspired action. People run around and try to
yeah,
do all this stuff thinking that's what's going to cause it to happen, and it's not. That's not the cause. What's causing things to happen is the universe. And so, if you're paying attention, then you can spot those opportunities and then take the inspired action, and then things happen. At least that's been my experience
yes,
with it,
same for me. Yeah, yeah.
and so
I was
so
I was setting a goal, and then just, okay, I have to wait a bit, and then to see what can I do, but not forcing myself too much to do,
yeah,
and like stressing, because it's not this case. You cannot do that. I experienced also the same thing with this Portugal gathering that I'm doing. I organize. I was searching also this kind of thing. It came also in mysterious ways, because I left my job and I didn't know what I will be doing. I didn't know which path I will choose, and where I will go. I didn't know anything. So I just let myself to just be,
yeah,
and then to see what I want to do. Like, not because I need to do something, but because I want. And this kind of things brought me to NLP and coaching studies. Then I got to know other people. I started to go to meetings with other girls. I met amazing people who are already working as a coaches, and doing also hypnotherapies. And
mhm,
some of them, they have also their business, and doing workshops like dream catchers, many different kind of people. and they're all spiritual people and believe in these things, and not believe, I mean they feel, actually
Yeah.
they feel things. And then one day somehow I got this thought about doing this gathering, and like out of nowhere, and then okay, I just pushed it away, and then after 2 months I got the same thought again. Okay, like, what do I have to do, it was a question. And then one of the day, when I had meeting with my this kind of new friends, one of the girls said, "You know what? I would like to have experience somewhere in abroad where I could help people, because she's doing hypnotherapy, and also she's a coach." And I said, "Why don't you do this kind of thing?" I said, yeah, I can organize. And I was like sitting and thinking, okay, this, I know this person can do this person can do this person can do this, and this can do this. Oh, I have everything. I just need to organize. And then when I decided this to do this, then I thought, okay, where should I organize? I don't know why in my mind came Portugal. And then I thought, okay, where which part, because I've been only to Faro, and I've never been in Lisbon, in Portugal. Then I thought, maybe Lisbon somehow. And then I was searching some people who could do like sound bath, healing, all this, yeah, bowls. How it's called?
Singing bowls.
Yeah, yeah, singing bowls. And then somehow I met through friends another girl who said, I know this person who is renting the villa. And I said, don't say that he's renting the villa near Lisbon. And she said, yes. I said, okay, okay, this is a sign. Like, I mean, it cannot be better. So yeah, and then I talked to this guy who is renting a villa, and now we are going to have this gathering. So it's like, and it was a moment that I tried to push, like to do myself more, but then I kind of like I was feeling, no, no, I should wait. And then I was waiting for one day or two, and then the villa appeared, the person who knows this owner of the villa appeared, and everything appeared. It just I did like I decided, and then everything was appearing. So it's like it's really, yeah, it's fascinating to understand that
Yeah.
universe gives us everything, everything.
Make a decision
Yeah,
and the universe
yeah,
will
yeah,
come to
yeah.
your aid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And even you, I mean, also your interview, because I'm afraid of talking, of speaking in public. For me, this is the biggest fear. And now even talking this way for me is like it's um it's in a way challenging, but at the same time I feel good. And it's amazing, because how can you meet people like this, that they do interview? Like, what do you
Yeah.
do? Because I need it. And this is the help from the universe that I have to overcome. It helps me to overcome my fear, that I could share my voice with more people, because I really have many things to say, as you see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you're doing great, by the way.
Thank you so much.
You're you're gonna do great at the event. I can tell you're actually a natural speaker. So
Oh my God, this is so big compliment. Wow. I think,
so
this is my passion, and what I speak, it's my experience, and this I really believe in it, and I think this is the yeah, this comes naturally. And when you are not pretending to be someone, then you're like a flower.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
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 you just
yeah.
that's a very good analogy. You just bloom like a flower.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's awesome. That's great. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Christina. I really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so
A-
much.
And is there any parting words or message that you would like to give the audience before we go?
Yeah, the message for everyone, I would say it would be to find the way to reconnect to yourself again, to start to feel our body, to find the time, at least 30 minutes per day only for ourselves, to hear our body, to feel our what our soul wants to say, to not be afraid of anything because the universe gives us everything. And if we have thought about something, even the craziest thing, that I don't know, maybe I want to become, I don't know, superstar or something. These kind of ideas, thoughts, they don't come just without a reason. There is always a reason why they come. They wouldn't come to you because if you wouldn't have a chance to become a superstar, you wouldn't have this kind of thought. And let's dream big and let's share our dreams with other people because we never know who can help us, and we are not alone here. We are supported with everyone, even the times that were really hard for us and we think that there is no one who thinks about us. We should know that there is always someone who is thinking about us, who is wanting to be next to us, and who supports us. I think many people they choose to live their lives because they think that it's just impossible to live anymore. But as I was in this kind of point in my life, I would say just try to ask help. Doesn't matter how maybe painful it would be or you would be afraid. Just ask help and talk to someone. And yeah, this is the most important message I think I would say. And because we need each other and we are here for a reason. And yeah, and this is so nice to talk to you
Yes.
and to connect. Yeah, it's
Thank you.
amazing.
That's an amazing
Yeah,
message, and it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you too. I've enjoyed it immensely.
thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, it's thank you for your post and for inviting me. And it's it's been like wow, it's really nice. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.